What's up, guys? Big Guy Bets back at it again with another video. First off, if you guys are new here, welcome. If you guys don't mind, hit that like button. Go ahead, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell so you're notified every single time I post, guys. It is college baseball, is the peak of the postseason. This last weekend, I mean, it was a thrill for most. It was I mean, I wouldn't say that our weekend wasn't a thrill. I mean, there was a lot of different ups and downs, a lot of downs, guys, but it was a great weekend for baseball. For those of you that didn't gamble, probably had an amazing time watching the baseball that we did, because a lot of upsets, a lot of crazy things happened. A lot of national seeds went down. A lot of teams that we've been riding all year in VIP and just teams in general that went down this weekend. It was arguably the craziest weekend of my career watching all this college baseball. I've done it extensively for the last 2 years, and it was definitely something to talk about. That's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, guys, where you enjoy watching the games, but definitely one of those ones where, as a gambler, as a bettor, you're not the happiest, because there was a lot of teams that, you know, like I said, took us throughout the entire postseason or throughout the entire season into the postseason and just didn't get it done for us. So, full transparency, just wasn't good. I mean, there was definitely a lot of times where you kind of, you know, think about different situations in your head, and when you get the gambling scaries, it's not very good for your mentals. You overthink too many things. You could really talk yourself in and out of very many different plays, and generally when this happens, you have a lot of different bets that you do like, you don't end up placing, and then you place the losers, and that's never a fun place to be. You're on an island by yourself. But again, a lot of craziness this weekend, and overall, in terms of VIP and even free picks, guys, it has been nothing short of bad. It was a great, you know, start to the year. Pretty much the entire year, guys, it's been amazing, and then just this last weekend just has not felt great. Everything that could have happened bad did happen bad. A couple different live bets don't go our way. A couple different teams blowing leads in the ninth inning. That Georgia blow up in the ninth after betting them live definitely hurts. Just a lot of different things, guys, that hurt. And right now, definitely in a headspace that isn't the greatest. It's not the most comfortable. It's not the best for my mentals at all. But you know, this is why we do it. We do it to continue to beat the books. And right now, they definitely put a hurting on us. There was a lot of teams, guys, that just did not come out to play. You know, a lot of different mid-majors took care of business against the top dogs. And truthfully, the biggest thing is all those SEC teams that took us throughout the entire year, cashing out a lot on them, and making a lot of money on each of the SEC teams or even some of the ACC teams, guys. They just let us down this weekend in a huge way. So hurts, definitely. Like I said, full transparency, it just wasn't a great weekend. I'm in a headspace right now that I could talk myself in or out of just about any play on the board, and that is not a fun place to be. You want to be able to have a clear head and have a good look at the board, but right now it's just anything I could see going in either which way, and that is because that's what this baseball does. This time of the year, some years it just goes completely chalk, and sometimes you're on the right side of chalk, and sometimes you can get those, you know, those upsets picks right, or you know what a team or coach is going to do. But truthfully, this year, out of all the years, it's just you have no idea what's going to happen. You know, you have a different pitcher that comes out of the pen that threw 110 pitches the day before and then comes out and throws even more, and you can't cap for that. You just can't. You don't know that's going to happen. So this time of the year, like I said, you can find different edges here and there, especially early on in the week. But as the later parts go, you really have to dial back those units or dial back your money spending down a little bit, because you truthfully have no idea what's going on, and neither do the books. So you got to find those lines that you can take advantage of. And this is kind of the board that we're looking at in terms of supers. Like I said, guys, amazing baseball. A lot of teams, people, fans, everybody thought that this was going to be the weakest one seed, and UCLA went ahead and took care of business. Same thing with Auburn. Saw a lot of teams that weren't too keen into Auburn went and took care of business, didn't lose a single game in their regional. So some of these weaker links, even West Virginia, guys, hadn't won a big game all year and goes in and has a couple different comeback victories. One against Clemson, that fucked us in VIP. And then one last night against Kentucky. They're just the comeback kids, the cardiac kids, came back through and won that regional. It honestly is crazy, and I haven't seen them do anything crazy this year either. You got LSU minus 3,500 last night, lost to Little Rock. I mean, obviously, I don't know too many people that put that in any parlays. That doesn't do anything for you, but LSU losing to Little Rock and could be on the brink of, not even making a super. So craziness there. Arizona, one of the highlights of this channel and the highlights of my life. They just continue to impress. That one's really fun. But again, another team, UNC, last free pick was Oklahoma on the money line and the under in that game. A lot of different things that I like. Kyson Witherspoon on the bump, the pitcher of the year, or arguably the pitcher of the year. Pitched terribly, gave up 6 or 7 runs in the first inning. And then Oklahoma yesterday, when their backs are against the wall, they have no pitching left. They're going against UNC's third guy. They get the win. Like I said, doesn't make any sense. So you can't help but kind of just smile, because if you don't smile, you're just going to, want to drink bleach. So like I said, you just got to kind of walk it off. And again, I've talked about Oregon State at lengths this year. They're a team that you can't trust fully. And they didn't win their first game, and they've won by 10 plus their last couple games, and they're starting to see the bats come through. Florida State cooked their way right through to supers, and then this one isn't the biggest surprise to me. I wasn't too keen on Vandy. Like I've said to many people, I felt like Vandy was the weakest 1 seed probably in the last few years, at least like I said since I've been watching, and I felt like they were definitely vulnerable. Did I think that Louisville of all the teams in there would have advanced? No. ETSU was the fan favorite. They had one of the lower ERAs as a team. They had a lot of big home run boppers, and they didn't get even two games in. So Louisville took care of that. And then you're looking at a Miami team that came into this tournament losing 2 straight, both by 10 runs, and now they find themselves in a championship game where they're winning and going to supers, or losing and going home. So you get just the ACC gauntlet right in here, and then you go over here, guys, to a Texas team that has been great all year, one of the best teams at home, a team that you can back in any sort of spot. Lose on Saturday and then win pretty convincingly against Kansas State, and then just come out and put a complete, terrible, shitty, disgusting game against UTSA, and UTSA made them look like a pile of shit. Like I said, this could have been the year that the SEC had multiple. Their over-under was to get to the supers. SEC teams was 6.5, and we might be in a situation where we only get 2. Right now we have Arkansas and Auburn. That technically Tennessee could lose today, and TCU could lose, and we could only have 2 in there. It's crazy. Like I said, it's great for the game, amazing for the game actually. Like all these teams, it's fun to watch. In terms of making money, no, it's not, and it's been one of the most terrible movies in terms of betting in the last few years that I've been doing this, but. Again, this is good ratings. I said it'd be a crapshoot in this left side. It sure did. Definitely all the chalk on the right side definitely did not happen. So it's just one of those things, guys. It's all right. But and then Ole Miss, guys, another team that I felt like they weren't going to win their regional, but I definitely didn't see Georgia Tech falling to Murray State. I thought they had a really good draw. Once I saw Murray State beat Ole Miss on game 1, I thought Georgia Tech found themselves in a situation to continue to advance. But that today, another line that doesn't even make sense, and we'll get to those in a second. And then again, the Georgia regional, the Athens regional, Duke takes care of business. I did have them originally in my Omaha 8, so this is kind of fun to see them kind of go through and take care of business. But that's kind of just going over what the weekend looked like, guys. Arkansas looked like the pigs that we all know and love. So just a very interesting weekend, crazy weekend. But at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun baseball to watch. A lot of craziness happened. That's exactly what you work for in these kind of events. It wasn't the chalk that was the college basketball tournament this year. So I don't know if some of you were able to take advantage of some of those dogs, but a lot of good opportunities to kill the books this weekend. So just kind of getting in how the games and how the lines are looking right now, guys. I don't see my DraftKings up right now. It's right there. Let's go ahead and check out these lines and just kind of go over each one of them. And like I said, guys, I want to, this video is a little bit less personal in terms of one specific pick like I usually do. I wanted to kind of go over the weekend and just kind of tell you guys what I felt like, how it did feel. And yeah, just kind of go over which games are important and which games I'm kind of looking at different things and trying to talk myself into different things and not talking yourself out. But like I said, the gambling crazies and scaries right now are definitely going through my head, and I could literally put myself in a situation where I like something and I take the complete opposite side. So right now, guys, we got North Carolina, Oklahoma at 1. That specific game, guys, honestly, it's a toss-up for me at this point. I thought North Carolina would have taken care of business yesterday. They did not. This is a coin flip game. Oklahoma's plus 2.5 on the run line. North Carolina has more pitching. They have the pitching depth. They have everything it takes to win this game. 2.5 is a little too rich for me. But they do have the pitching advantage in this matchup, and they are technically the road team in this one. So I never like, I don't know. That one's just a tough one. I probably won't get to the window with anything. As for the total, don't really have a lean in that one. I don't trust the Oklahoma offense just as much as I don't trust the North Carolina offense, but they could easily score over this and then completely put me in a vat. So definitely nothing in that one. Ole Miss versus Murray State. I talked about this a couple seconds ago. Ole Miss, guys, they were minus 1.5, and that was our only good win of the weekend for VIP. We had the minus 1.5 in the Ole Miss versus Western Kentucky game. They were minus 1.5 with their ace on the bump. They did end up winning 8-6, considering they almost blew the game in the 9th. Again, never have I had an easy victory recently, just a complete sweat show, but we still ended up cashing that one of the only ones on the brutal weekend. But minus 3.5 is the opening line here against Murray State. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think that they should be favored by this much, especially with how deep they are into their bullpen, and we don't even know what's next. I know that they did just dismantle Murray State yesterday, and to be honest, I don't know who Murray State has left and what they have to offer, but I think that's where the books kind of know, or maybe they just miss, this is where the gambling scaries are in my head, because Murray State plus 3.5 looks extremely juicy, considering minus 1.5 was the play where Ole Miss had their ace, Hunter Elliott, on the mound against a worse Western Kentucky team, and now they're minus 3.5 and in a game where they won't even, if they're winning, they won't even bat in the bottom of the 9th. So I definitely lean Murray State plus 3.5 there, but the line doesn't make any sense. Will I get to the window with it? I don't know. As far as the total, 16.5, I mean, I told myself yesterday that I wanted to bet the over 15.5, and I didn't end up doing it, and the final score was 17-9. So it's 16.5 definitely seems low for these two teams, especially with the back half of the bullpen. But realistically, guys, I mean, it could be a situation where they just throw the kitchen sink at each other trying to get to supers, and it could be a situation where 16.5 ends up turning into, 10 to 5 game, and you cash an under. It's that one again is another interesting spot. It could be a hold your nose, take the under, but 16.5 does seem a little low, but that's kind of my opinion on that one. Wake Forest, Tennessee, another matchup yesterday. My lean was Wake Forest plus 2.5. They end up cashing outright. So that was a good read. But this same thing, plus 2.5 as the road team this time. Over under set at 14 in the minus 280 for Tennessee. Tennessee has no idea who kind of they're going to throw after. I would assume Tegan Kuhns is going to be the starter in this one. The situation again, guys, where a guy that has not been pitching very well late, it didn't get any innings the previous few days, and now he's going to get an opportunity to send them to regionals. Wake Forest, don't know who they're going to start in this one. I think that they have a deeper bullpen, but I also believe that their bullpen is not as talented as Tennessee's could be, but a situation where I don't want to necessarily, I'm an Arkansas better fan and everything, and I definitely don't necessarily want to see Tennessee, so I'm definitely rooting for Wake Forest in this matchup. Plus 2.5 could be a look in that one. I definitely lean to the over in this one. It did open up at 13 or 13 and a half, and now it is up to 14, it looks like. So would lean definitely the over in this one is my favorite play. LSU Little Rock, we'll get back to this one in a second, guys. LSU versus Little Rock. I mean, truthfully, guys, LSU should have no trouble taking them to school in this one. -5.5. I mean, you know, Little Rock didn't cover the line the first game, and then they just obviously beat them outright. But at the end of the day, LSU is a much better team. Do they come out and, you know, actually put belt to ass? Who the hell knows at this point? But I think the LSU is obviously going to win this game. The over-under I have no interest in because I don't know anything about Little Rock and who they're going to throw out there. They're a little team. They're probably going to throw their best guy, throw the kitchen sink at LSU, try to get to, you know, the super regional. But LSU should take care of business. It shouldn't be a close game. I would definitely lean the -5.5 there and just kind of close your eyes and hope. The last game, guys, the most interesting one of the day, the lowest total, or the second lowest total on the day. Yesterday, the line opened up at 11.5 for that night tap, and I think the final score was 17-6. And Southern Miss just completely blew their load on Miami. And I think that this specific situation, guys, I trust a team like Miami to get to, you know, looking at this line, I wish you could get a little bit more with Miami. You're not getting it. Obviously, maybe at some different sports books, you might look at a +150, but and that's what I would look for on there. But +1.5 is definitely intriguing to me at this point. I definitely believe that Miami has a really good shot to win this game. I don't think that they started anybody or, you know, put anybody in that was worth anything once they were kind of down pretty significantly. They kind of punted the game, kind of looking for the next one. But the Miami offense is starting to click, and I believe that this bullpen could kind of scrap together a victory in order to take on, you know, Louisville in the next matchup. So in Super. So do I love it? No, but again, if I were to lean anything in this one, I'd lean Miami, and I'd probably lean the over as well, because both teams, I don't know who the hell they think they're going to pitch, but both teams can hit a little bit and scratch off a few runs. So that's definitely the way I look in that one. And in the last game, guys, if I were to choose a pick for the day, I would lean towards Oregon State -1.5. That would be my favorite play of the day in terms of free pick for all of you. This specific situation, I believe that USC kind of is taxed. I think that they kind of met their maker. I don't like this Oregon State team at all. I think they are a fraud at the end of the day. But in this specific situation, guys, I don't believe that USC has the firepower to beat Oregon State. I think if this has to be a shootout, I think Oregon State wins the shootout. So I think that the over 13.5 is definitely live. That could also be my favorite play in this game. I just do not know what teams are going to show up, but I also don't know what pitchers are going to be throwing in this matchup. It's easy to believe. Let me check real fast. I believe that USC was talking about throwing, or at least Caden Hunter. We'll check out his stats. Do I believe that he's the starter? I'm not technically sure. I'm making this video relatively early, so I don't know any of the pitching matchups to this point quite yet. Let's go ahead and check him out. He's honestly a super talented kid, but just has not put it together recently. I mean, you look at his last outing, definitely really good, 1.1 innings and 2 Ks against St. Mary's, but it's St. Mary's, guys. You look at his previous times out there. I mean, 3 innings, 3 earned, 1 inning, 2 runs, 1 earned, and then it's just terrible, guys. I mean, 6 runs, 5 earned, 6 runs, 6 earned, 6 runs, 4 earned. So, I mean, he's got the deep ones, but generally, guys, he's not doing too well. And the teams that he is pitching well against just are not the best hitting offenses in the slightest. Now you got to play in one of the biggest games of your life on the road against a team that can really mash the ball. And if you give them walks, guys, I mean, he has trouble with the walk. If they walk and a couple walks and then a home run, immediately you're down a couple runs. So I would definitely lean, and that would be my favorite play of the day, is Oregon State -2.5. again, you could talk yourself in and out of any different play today. Definitely be a little bit more limited today, guys, in your bets. Look forward to supers next week, and I'll have a huge super show. I'm looking forward to all of it, guys. Realistically, trying to keep the smile on my face. Again, it was a really rough weekend, but we're going to continue to push through because we have a system that works. Crazy times, but it's what also makes for good baseball, guys. So appreciate you all. Love you all. Hope you guys liked the video, and we'll see you all in the next one. Best of luck in your bets today. Peace.